Hey guys, back over at Southam Bodies to see Greg get an update on the Porsche 964 Turbo. From what I understand, the parts are delivered about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Some of them are already on the car. The rust that we had has been cut out and new sections have been welded in. The car's in primer, so it'd be kind of cool to see it in this state. And you know, I remember from 3 weeks ago it was pretty bad. So we're gonna go in, have a look at the car, chat with Greg, maybe talk about color options because he's throwing different ideas at me, and let's see what happens. I've also got a GoPro with me. I'm going to leave this with Greg. I asked him if I could just be in the booth and film it, and he said no way. So I'm going to leave the GoPro with him. He can try and hook it up somewhere securely in the booth, and hopefully we get some cool footage of him spraying the turbo, which would be absolutely insane. So let's go inside and have a look. Okay, here we are, back with the car. No longer in the epoxy primer. I don't know what type of primer this is, but I'll let Greg explain that. I'm no painter. Looks totally different from last time. Chalk and cheese, really, to be fair. I can see that the welding has already been done on the front, and the issues that were here have been addressed. Again, I'll let Greg go into that because obviously he's the guy, he's the man in the know. So Greg, stop hiding, get in the view of the camera and talk about the car.
Well, last time the car was in epoxy primer, no fabrication work had been done on it, so you can see that since then all the fabrication work has been done on the car, all the welding, everything was made, there was no panels bought for it, all the rear quarters that were rusty have all been cut out, the lowers, the bad point there, and the lower here has all been cut out and replaced. The scuttle, which is a renowned place for them,
that was
really bad here. That's all been cut out, handmade. All the inner wing here was all cut out, handmade and welded with 1.5 steel. So the fabricator keeps telling me.
Okay. What's the difference?
It's a lot thicker. So he said it's harder to form, but it's nicer to weld and work with, rather than a thin metal that's a bit fiddly to work with. So it's got all strong welds on it. He did some TIG and he's done some MIG welding. I like the way he works. He's a perfectionist, so he makes sure everything's right. Even the areas that are going to be hidden, make sure it's perfect.
So are you saying, you know these curves that you've got here?
That's all handmade. He's made that out of more than one piece of steel.
That's amazing.
So he takes templates.
I don't know if you can get this on the camera, but if you look at that, that is just amazing, and it's so soft.
Yeah.
Obviously this has been flattened back and...
Yeah. Once he's finished welding, it still does want some filler work, gentle reshaping. It was pretty good. He got it fairly good. It wanted like 20% shaping. Just to make sure it is the right shape. We've had all the wings on, we've had all the bonnet on, we've had all the doors back on to check everything. We've had all the seals in on the tops of the wings, which a lot of people don't do. So we put the car back together to make sure that once it's painted, we're not going to get caught out by something being slightly out of shape, or a gasket, or a gap that's not going to be right. A lot of people do build the cars up and paint it all in situ. I like to paint the body first and paint the doors inside and out, and then put all the car back together. So there's no telltale signs that it's been painted then, and it looks kind of factory.
Sure. So explain to me, what's this primer, what is this finish?
This is a high build primer which is put over the filler, so it is like a final fill, and you can block it. It's fairly thick, and it's available in different colours, so it helps the original colour of the car, it helps the coverage as well. Okay. So we tend to try and get the primer as close to the car as possible.
Sure, okay.
This will all be hand finished blocked, no air tools will be used on it, all be hand blocked, hand wet flatted, which a lot of people don't like to do anymore, the wet flatting, because it can be messy. But with
time consuming?
Yeah, they just everyone sort of wants to do everything fast, dry. We're a bit more old school. We tend to keep the wet flat in. Some primers aren't meant to be wet flatted anymore, but this particular primer, you are allowed to wet flat it. There's no problems there. We've had the guy in, talk technical on it. He said it's fine if you want to wet flat it. And then obviously the car's going to be painted as a shell.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try and talk you into colour changing.
I know, well, let's talk about that. So what's the benefits of this non-metallic black you mentioned?
I just think that solid black colours look better once they're painted than metallic black. It's the kind of car that needs to be solid black. It's turbo, it will show off the lines better, the body.
Okay.
And if it was my car, I would prefer non-metallic on this particular car.
Is there still lacquer over that?
Yeah, it's the same process. It's
okay.
Base coat of lacquer, so you still put down the colour and you lacquer it. A lot of people sand the lacquer back and do a flow coat. We'd see how well it came out. We'd try and get it as good as we could out the gun, and then we've still got to hand finish it afterwards, so it'll still be sanded down from 1200 right down to 4000,
okay.
and then machine polished, so that'd be done relevant if you did do metallic or solid black.
Okay, well, we'll decide off camera what we're going to do.
I'll decide who's to do it.
We'll decide off camera what we're going to do.
I'll just go for it.
So yeah, I think you're more.
It's an option. It's an option to think about. You know, it won't be the factory colour, but if you keep saying to me it's going to be a keeper, this is why we're spending so much time on the car. We'll see.
Well, the thing is, this car's had quite a few modifications already, especially around the engine. Externally, the bodywork is the bodywork. I'm not changing. I've not gone bigger wings or anything. But because it's had those engine mods, suspension mods, the engine mods are probably irreversible. So I'm thinking, well, it's not an OEM stock 3.3 turbo. So
and it's
I'm warming to your idea.
It's not like a dramatic colour change.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to do it Ruby Stone, and you said no. So
well, that's not happening. Ruby Stone or Speed Yellow is not happening. I know why you want to do it Ruby Stone.
Yeah.
That's down to Richie, I think, probably.
Yeah.
But that's not happening. So we're going to keep it black, but we'll decide what we're going to do. So look, I'm going to leave you alone. I'm going to leave the GoPro, show you how to use the GoPro, so you can obviously film it when it's in the booth, and then hopefully when we come back next time, it'll be in paint. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.